Former President Barack Obama is taking issue with a political attack ad using his image and voice and is calling on television stations in South Carolina to take it off the air.
Don't believe Biden's empty promises.
This ad, targeting black voters in South Carolina, is from a super PAC called the Committee to Defend the President.
Joe Biden promised to help our community. It was a lie. Here's President Obama.
Plantation politics. Black people in the worst jobs.
The ad suggests Obama is speaking about Joe Biden.
When the so-called black committeemen came around election time, we'd all line up and vote the straight Democratic ticket. Sell our souls for a Christmas turkey.
But that sound is lifted from Obama's audiobook version of Dreams from My Father, written in 1995. The former president called on TV stations to pull the ad and fired off a cease and desist letter to the super PAC saying the ad is clearly intended to mislead.
Enough. Joe Biden won't represent us, defend us, or help us.
So far, it's unclear if any stations yanked the ad.
So I'm a little fuzzy on how this works these days, but it used to be that you had to take political ads if it was one of the ones that was, I approve this message, by the candidate. Yeah, from the candidate. Those you can't really mess with. But these are advocacy ads, and they can do whatever they want with them.
Yes, they can, and they should.
Yeah.
I mean, it is misleading, and there was another ad I think we talked about recently where images were it was the Bloomberg ad, where he's making a point in debate and you hear crickets in the background and they just interspersed cutaways of the other candidates. Also misleading. I agree. There's no excuse for that kind of thing. And voters have to be more discerning about what they're being spoon-fed. But yeah, the TV and radio stations,
they can reject that.
They can.
They want
to.
Yeah,
and they should.
Yeah.
But they don't want to because they're getting money for playing those ads. This is a double whammy because not only is it misleading, it's President Obama's voice, but he's quoting someone else.
Yes.
He's not even saying it. So you're not even trying to mislead with his own voice. And so it's really appalling. And I think that any news station ought to be appalled. I mean, that's just one less check you need to take in that instance. And this is exactly the whole Facebook situation we've been talking about. Just let it run and let people figure it out. Well, guess what? People are busy. They don't have time to figure out, well, I heard that. Is that wrong? I mean, and the stations are all playing it. If I'm a viewer in that market, I'm thinking, well, it must be right because they continue to play it.
This ad is not misleading. It's a lie.
Yes.
I mean, it's a flat-out lie. Any reasonable person looking at this, unless they know some of the background, would think that President Obama is talking about Joe Biden. I have to take a little bit of issue with what you said, John. Obviously, the voters always have to be discerning and up on things, but this is asking more of the voters than we should have to ask them to do.
No argument.
I don't know if it's because, I've been part of the media for much of my adult life, but when I saw that, I knew the president was reading something. It felt to me like he was reading a book, right? And so I thought, well, doesn't everybody else feel the same way? And maybe that's just because this is what we do for a living, and so we can discern. But this isn't anything new. It may be been taken to another extreme, but from the early political ads, they've all put some kind of frame around a politician to make you think they're Satan. You sit there and you watch it, and boy, it's like, wow, these are horrible individuals. They're twisting quotes that they get from one place, and they make it. Yeah, I know this one does.
He didn't even say it.
He didn't even say it. But what I'm saying, most of these things are deceptive, right? That's what they do, and I think voters should you need to do your homework. You can't rely on television ads to tell you who you should vote for.
I didn't understand what they were saying. I had to look at that thing a couple times to even try to understand what the underlying message was.
Well, they don't really care. They just put bad-sounding stuff and put Biden's name up there.
And in the meantime, the ad probably got more publicity from the controversy than from actual airing.